Morning, ma'am.
Morning. Okay, this is the last chapter, okay? That is locomotion and movement. It's a very short chapter, so we'll try to finish it today itself so that you will get time for studying. Okay, so locomotion and movement, it is a very essential thing that is required for all the living organisms, not only human beings, but also other living organisms, excluding the plants. Okay, other living organisms like animals and like dogs, cats, everything. So everyone needs to move, right? Locomotion and movement. Do you know the difference between locomotion and movement? So movement is you can move your hands, legs, you can move them, right? That is movement. And your head, you can turn your head, you can move your legs, body, everything. So that is movement. And locomotion is you can travel from one place to another. Like you can walk from one place to another. You can move, right? You can like go from one place to another. That is locomotion. So this locomotion and movement is very, very essential. Without locomotion you will not be able to go to places, right? And you will have to stick to one place. And then without movement you cannot do your all daily activities, like eating food you need movement, to read you need movement, and to do all your daily life activities movement is very essential. So this locomotion is and movement, it is very essential part of all living organisms. Okay, and this thing, it is made possible by mostly muscle contraction, and also the joints, they play a very important role. The bones and the joints, no, Joints, that we will get to means we will discuss that little bit later. But first is very essential is muscle contraction. See, whenever muscle contracts, whenever you move your hand, or whenever you move your whatever, means you make a fist, you move your fingers, you move your leg, muscle contraction is very essential. Okay, without muscle contraction this thing will not occur. Okay, bones also play a very important role, but then muscle contraction also, it plays a very important role. And the, what to say, the contraction and relaxation, all of you know contraction and relaxation. So when the muscle contracts, then what to say, then the movement or movement take place. Okay, the muscle movement take place when muscle contracts. How, we will discuss a little bit later. Okay, but before that, this muscle contraction, no, muscle contraction is a very vast topic. Okay, this is not, we are just ending it in this small 3 paragraphs, no, but muscle contraction, it is a large topic, it will comprise of a whole chapter. But that thing is like little bit higher level. Okay, those we have to study about cytoskeleton, the microtubules, microfilaments, so all those are required for higher studies. So for now, just the brief thing, what happens in muscle contraction, what are the proteins involved, if we know that, that will be enough. Okay, and the process of muscle contraction, the muscle contracts and then muscle movement take place, no, that thing is known as that theory, it is known as sliding filament theory. Okay, if when you are asked what is sliding filament theory, you can write this paragraph, means if it is asked for like 1 mark. Okay, so what is sliding filament theory, then you can write this paragraph. So sliding filament theory is when the muscles, basically this is the whole bookish definition, no. So basically if we like try to explain sliding filament theory, it is the contraction of muscles and contraction of the muscle fibers, and which result in muscle movement. Okay, that is sliding filament theory. So let's look at this diagram. I'll zoom it a little bit. So contractile proteins. So there are contractile proteins in our muscles. Okay, there are contractile proteins. Contractile proteins means they help in contraction. Okay, these proteins, they help in contraction, and they are, one is actin and one is myosin. These are the 2 types of protein. They are contractile proteins. Why contractile proteins? Because they help in contraction. So this is the structure of actin, and this is the structure of myosin. Okay, so this is the structure of actin, and this is the actin filament. This one individual one, this is actin, no. So this, they join together and they form this actin filament, that is F-actin. Okay, so this is the actin filament, and this brownish striped thing, this is the tropomyosin. Tropomyosin is also a protein that is present in the actin. Okay, and then there is this small bits pinkish, this is troponin. This is also a protein present in actin. Okay, so this is the structure of actin, and this is myosin. Okay, so this is myosin and this is actin. So what happens when muscle contracts? First, this portion, this is known as the myosin head. Okay, see, you can see the label diagrams. This diagram is also important. Okay, try to draw it at home once. So head, this portion, this is the myosin head. Okay, this portion is the myosin head. So what happens? Actin, when muscle contraction is in the beginning of muscle contraction, so what will happen? This in the myosin head, this actin will come and join. Okay, the actin, they will come and join the like in the myosin head. Okay, they will come and join. And what happen when they comes and join? When they comes and joins, they will break down ATP. Okay, these are the ATP binding sites. When the actin comes and joins to the myosin head, the ATP will break down. And when ATP will break down, what will happen? That we all know, that is energy will be produced. ATP is where energy is stored, right? ATP is an energy storing molecule. So when myosin head, in the myosin head, actin comes and join, they will break down the ATP. Okay, and in turn they will form energy. Okay, and when the energy is released, what will happen? The actin and myosin, they will slide and start to move. Okay, this actin and myosin filament, they will start and they will like slide and start to move. That is why it is known as sliding filament theory, because the actin and myosin, they slides and they like moves. Okay, and that is why muscle movement, it takes place. Okay, so what happens in the myosin head? First the actin will come and join. Just remember that, and no need to like memorize everything. If you just remember these points, it will be very easy. So in the myosin, this is myosin, this is actin, these are contractile proteins, and in the myosin head, this actin will come and join. And when the actin will come and join in the myosin head, the ATP, it will break down ATP and they will form energy. Okay, and when that energy will help to pull these proteins. Okay, and then these proteins, they will slide and they will move. Okay, because both these contractile proteins, they will slide past like one another. Okay, they will slide, and that is why this theory or this thing, it is known as sliding filament theory. Okay, this is how muscle contraction, it takes place. And there are a lot of actually phenomenon involved in muscle contraction. Not only, I am just telling it on like a brief thing, no? Inside there are many stuff like there are neurotransmitters, there are various calcium and potassium ions. So all those, everything, they will act, and all this all these steps, they will be activated, or all this will come to action. Okay, but those things we don't need it. Okay, this is muscle contraction. Then there is a skeletal system which play a very important role in the locomotion and movement. How? Because the skeletal system, all of you have seen, I guess, a skeleton in your school, in your high secondary, college, or in your whatever you have studied. Most of the schools and colleges, they have a skeleton, the figure like a skeleton that is kept in our labs. No, so if you have seen a skeleton, you can see a skeleton, it comprises of all the bones. Okay, all the bones and cartilages, all the bones that are present in your body, starting from the skull, from your like bones of your legs and hands, right? Face, bones of the face. So everything that will also the rib cage and everything. So all those will comprise of the skeletal system. Okay, and the skeletal system also plays a very important role in locomotion and movement. Why? Because just imagine only your muscle moving. The muscles alone cannot move. No, they will not give a definite structure to the body. The definite structure to your body, to a human or any other animal's body, that is given by the skeletal system. So it plays a very important role in movement. Okay, in movement of your body, movement and locomotion and movement. So the skeletal system, it like in humans, this thing about the bones that we have all got in like class 1, 2, 3, that we have a total of 206 bones. Like in your whole body, in your entire body, the total number of bones that is present is 206. Okay, and there are cartilages. Cartilages, already I have discussed what are cartilages while discussing about blood, right? So cartilage, this is a connective tissue. Bone is also a connective tissue. Cartilage is a connective tissue. Blood is a connective tissue, right? Blood is a liquid connective tissue. So cartilages, they are present in between the bones. Okay, cartilages, they are present in between the bones, also in the joint area, and also they are present in the ear, nose, that area. Okay, so those are cartilages. Little bit soft than bones, but then it is not liquid. Okay, so there are cartilages and there are bones. So there are 206 bones. So you have to remember this 206. So the human skeletal system, it is divided into axial and appendicular. Okay, axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. So this axial skeleton, it comprises of skull, human skull. All of you know the head region, the face and head, all those. So that will comprise of, that is included in the axial skeleton. And then the vertebral column. What is the vertebral column? The spinal cord. No, the spinal cord is surrounded by the vertebral column. Backbone. No. So that is the vertebral column. Then there is sternum, which is present in the hip region. Okay, and not exactly in the hip region. Actually in on the diaphragm region. Okay, there is sternum, and then there is a rib cage. All of you know. So skull, vertebral column, sternum, ribs, all this are included in axial skeleton. And the appendicular skeleton, they comprise of the bones of the like legs, hands, okay, and the girdles. So there are two girdles. One is pelvic girdle and one is pectoral girdle, present in the hip region. Okay, on top of your legs and below your stomach, that hip region. In that region there are girdles. Like girdles, they are bones. Okay, nothing but bones. So there are two types of girdles. One is the pectoral girdle and one is pelvic girdle. If you if you look in the Google, if you search for pectoral girdle, pelvic girdle, you can see the diagrams. Okay. Okay, so just go through Google. I just saw it now. So go through Google, you will get the structures and you will get the entire skeleton and the labeled diagrams, the labeled diagram. Okay, so which is what. So you can see what the girdles are. Okay, it is present in the hip region. So the bones of hands and legs and the girdles, they will be included in the appendicular skeleton. Okay, so there are two types of skeleton. That is the skeletal system. It is divided into two types, two parts, you can say. That is, one is axial skeleton and one is appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton, it comprises of on the upper part, no, that is skull, then comes the vertebral column, sternum, ribs, all this comprise of the axial skeleton. And appendicular is a lower part. Okay, that is below the stomach. That is, in the hip region there are girdles, one is pelvic and one is pectoral, and then there are bones of the hands and legs. Okay. Okay, so the axial skeleton, that is the skull and everything, those totally, in total they will have 80 bones. Okay, so total number of bones in humans were 206. So out of the 206, 80 bones are included in axial skeleton. Okay, and the skull there is cranial and facial bones. What is cranial? One is facial. Cranial means the head region. Facial means the face region. Okay, the facial bones means the bones that are present in the face, no, jaws and everything. So those bones are included in facial bones, and cranial means the skull region. So means the head region. So the cranial and facial, they will together have 22 bones. Means in the skull there are 22 bones. So individually there are cranial, there are 8, facial there are 14. 14 plus 8, 22. So try to remember the digits, okay? And in the vertebral column, there are like 26 serially arranged units, that is vertebra. That we all know, that backbone, no? Backbone, it is not a single bone. No, backbone is small parts. So if you touch your back, then also you can feel it. It is not a single bone. Then there are ribs, 12 pairs. This one already discussed while discussing about the respiratory system. 12 pairs means 12 on each side. Okay. So there are 12 pairs of ribs. And sternum, okay. Sternum is the bone that is in the chest region. Okay. And these are, okay. So, and this appendicular skeleton, there are 30 bones in each limb. Limb means the legs, okay. Legs and hands, no. So, like 30. So, and there is the pectoral and pelvic girdle. So, all total there will be 206 bones in your entire body. There will be 206 bones, comprising of the bones of the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. Okay, and these bones are very essential for movement, because without the bones you will not be able to move, because it is the bones that give the definite structure to the human body. Okay, without the bones you will be just a small massive piece of meat. Okay. Then there is the joints. Okay, so joints, there are different types of joints. Okay, joints, I can give you example of joints, like there are joints in your hands, right? Your what to say, elbow region, there is a joint, and in your like hand and this region, no, hand, in your palm of your hand, so there is the joint. There are joints in between your fingers, that is why you can move, right? And there are joints in your knee, there is a knee joint. Then there is joints in your head region also, in your skull region. There are joints in your jaws, that is why you can eat, right? It means eat means you can chew. So there are different types of joints, and these joints are responsible for various types of movements. Okay, various types of movements. Like some joints will help in walking, some joints will help in doing other work, some joints like in the neck region, the joints, they will help to like move your head, no? To like look in different directions. So there are different types of, excuse me. So there are different types of joints. Okay, so 3 types of joints, they are fibrous, cartilaginous and synovial. So fibrous joints, cartilaginous and synovial joints. And this type of joints, no, they allow movement, but they like the movement they allow, they also differ. Okay, some joints they allow more movement, some joints they allow like 360 movement, some joints they will allow only like 90-degree movement, some joints they will not allow movement, or some limited movement. Okay, like you have seen owl, no? Owl. So a bird, no? So that owl can move the head 360 degree. But for us, we cannot move our head 360 degree, no? For the owl, the joint that is in the neck region, that joint they allow movement like for 360 degree, no? So that differs, okay? So this, then first is type of joint is the fibrous joint. So this fibrous joint, they do not allow any movement. Okay, the fibrous joint, they do not allow any movement, and they are the joints, they are present generally in the head region. Okay, skull bones. So they do not allow any movement. The head region, no. So these are the fibrous joints. They are generally found in the head region, and they do not allow any movements. Okay, just remember that. And then there is cartilaginous joint. So the cartilaginous joints, they allow a little bit movement. Means limited movements are allowed, but like you cannot move like a whole lot. Okay, only limited movements are allowed. For example, the vertebral column. Okay, vertebral column. You can move your if you even if you're sitting, like if you're in a sitting position, you can move a little bit, right? You can move your what to say, your body, you can move little bit, right? So that movement of your body, not only the neck region, I'm talking about the entire body. So you can move that body because of this movement of the vertebral column, but you cannot move your vertebral body so much, no? You can just move a little bit. There is also an exercise, no, of the, like, moving our body that way. So that vertebral column and the cartilaginous joints are found in the vertebral column region, and they allow only limited movements. They do not allow so much movement. Okay, then there is synovial joint. Synovial joints are joints generally found in the knee region. Okay, knee region, and the joints that are in your what to say, the hand, in between your, like, hand, no? So that region, and the knee, that leg joint. So those are known as synovial joints, and in the synovial joints, and they allow, like, uh, much movement. Okay, they allow, like, sufficient amount of movement. No, you can fold your legs, no? So they allow some considerable amount of movement. And the synovial joints, they have a cavity in between the bones. They have a cavity that is known as synovial cavity, and in that cavity there are fluids. I don't know if you have heard of some disease, like some people, they suffer from knee pain, so much pain in the knee region, and when they go to the doctors, they will be like, what to say, the doctor will tell them that they have they will do some, like, scan and stuff like that, and they will give the conclusion, like, they have a fluid accumulation in the knee. Okay, knee cavity, they have much fluid accumulation, means the synovial cavity, no, the fluid, it is already filled with fluid, but that amount of fluid, if it rises, it gives pain, it aches. Okay, so that this synovial joints, they have a fluid filled cavity. Fluid filled cavity means the cavity is filled with fluid, liquid. Okay, and this type of joints, they allow some movement, means they allow a little bit more movement. Okay, an example is knee joint. A cartilaginous joint example is the joint that are in the vertebral column. Okay, fibrous joint in the skull region. Okay. Next is the disorders. Every chapter, when we discuss, almost every chapter, while discussing, we get across a portion of including the disorders, that is the diseases. While discussing about the respiratory system also, we got diseases, right, about the asthma and emphysema, right? While discussing about digestive system also, we got diseases, indigestion and vomiting and diarrhea, stuff like that. So in every systems, in every what to say, organ systems, there are disorders related to those organ systems. In locomotion and movement also, there are disorders, they are related to the muscles and the skeleton. Okay, the disorders, they are related to the muscles and skeleton of our body. So here we have included 6 disorders. Okay, first is myasthenia gravis, then muscular dystrophy, tetany, arthritis, osteoporosis, and gout. So first, that is myasthenia gravis. This myasthenia gravis, it is an autoimmune disorder. What is autoimmune disorder? Immunity. I'll talk a little bit about immunity in some chapters, I guess. Yes, I little bit mentioned about immunity. Immune system. All of you know immune system. If your immune system is weak, you'll suffer from variety of diseases. Okay. So this myasthenia gravis, this is a disease related to the immune system, and since and almost every disease that is related to the immune system, it is a very bit serious. Okay, so this myasthenia gravis, it is related to the immune system and the neuromuscular junction. What is neuromuscular junction? Neuromuscular means the neurons and muscles, no? The junction means the gap in between the neurons and the muscles. So this myasthenia gravis, it is a autoimmune disorder, means it is related to the immune system. And when people suffer from this disease, they may, like, symptoms are they may undergo paralysis. Okay, paralysis may occur, and the whole body will be very weak. So it is all this related to the skeletal muscles. Okay, skeletal muscles means the skeleton, the bones and everything, they will become weak, and the muscles that are surrounding the skeleton, they will also become very weak, and the person, they may suffer from paralysis. Okay, so this is a very serious kind of disease, and anything that is related to the immune system is little bit serious. Okay, like the HIV virus, no, HIV virus, when people, they suffer from AIDS. So what happens? The AIDS, they weaken the immune system. Okay, so when people suffer from AIDS, their immune system is totally destroyed, and that is the reason why the people, when they suffer from AIDS, they have several symptoms, because they will suffer from cold, cough, and everything. Whatever they virus and bacteria they are exposed to, it will attack them, because their immune system, it becomes very weak. Okay, the immune system, they cannot protect the body against any pathogens. Okay, next is muscular dystrophy. So in this disease, what happens? The muscles, the muscles, they degenerate. Do you know degenerate? They degrade, you can say. Okay, they degrade, or they become weak, and they lose structure, and they degrade. And this is a genetic disorder. Genetic means it passes through the genes. Okay, so if your ancestors, they had this muscular dystrophy, there is a chance you will have it, and if you have it, there is a chance your offsprings will have it. Okay, so this is a genetic disorder, and this is related to the skeletal muscles. Okay, then there is tetany. So when people suffer from tetany, they have wild contractions. What are wild? Spasms. Okay, they have spasms. Spasms means wild contractions. So you will have sudden contraction on the muscle, and then it will ache like anything. It will pain like anything. Okay, maybe in your thighs, maybe any place of your body, like the muscle, they will contract, and they will ache. Okay, they will pain so much. So that is tetany, and that is because of that happens because of the low calcium ion. Okay, calcium ion. This is the formula for calcium ion. So because of low calcium ion, and the person, they suffer from tetany. And tetany symptoms are, they will have wild contraction, that is spasms. They will have many spasms. Rapid means regular, and many. Okay, many spasms will occur. Spasms means they will have contractions, and most people, they suffer from like this spasm some or the other times. It is not that frequent, but then it happens in your entire lifetime once or twice. And if it like continues, if you're having rapid spasms, and if it is so frequent, then you will have to consult doctors and go for checkups. Okay, then there is arthritis. It's a very common disease. It is the joints. The joints, they will inflammation, all of you know. It will become red, and it will bulge out, and it will become big. Okay, and pain, and it's too painful. This arthritis disease is too painful. So since the inflammation occurs in the joints, and it will pain, so aches will occur all over the joints. Any joint in your body, there will be pain. Then there is osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is generally seen in women, okay, rather than men. Okay, in the males, it is not generally seen in the males. It is generally seen in the females. Okay, it is generally seen in the females, and it is an age-related disorder. Why age-related? Because in the older sections, in the not in the young people, generally in the older people, this osteoporosis is seen. And what is osteoporosis? The calcium ion in your body. The bones are made up of calcium. All of you know that, right? So the bones, they are made up of calcium, and when the calcium ion concentration is very low in your body, So that calcium ion is controlled by the estrogen hormone. Okay, estrogen hormone. So when this estrogen hormone is the levels of estrogen is very less, then the calcium, that it affects the calcium concentration. And when the calcium concentration is very low in your body, they will decrease the bone mass. Bone mass means bones will become all like very tender, and it will tend to break. It will become like those utensils made of clay, no? If you like if there is a slight hit on those clay made utensils, they will break. So the bones also become that structure. Okay, when like this disease is serious, it reaches that serious stage, means at the later stages of this disease, the bones, they become very means prone to damage. Okay, because of the less concentration of calcium ion. Okay, that is osteoporosis. And why generally in the woman? Because after menopause, no, menopause, all of you know, when like the menstrual cycle in case of females, it continues for a certain age, no, after 50 60, for a woman it stops, the menstrual cycle, it stops, no. So after the menstrual cycle stops, after a woman reaches her menopause stage, the estrogen level, it decreases. Okay, estrogen is a sex hormone. Okay, so this estrogen level, it decreases, and when the estrogen level will decrease, they will impact on the calcium concentration. Okay, and the calcium will also decrease, and when the calcium will decrease, the bone mass will decrease. Bone mass means bone will become all frickle, and like it will be prone to more fractures and more breakage. Okay, and then last is gout, and it is the inflammation of joints, same like little bit same like the arthritis, but in this disease there is accumulation of uric acid crystals. Crystals means small particles, you can say. So there are uric acid particles, they will accumulation means they will gather in the joints, in the joint region there will be uric acid crystals. Okay, and then they will result in pain and inflammations in the joint region. Okay, this is also a very painful disease, same as arthritis, but this is more serious than arthritis because this uric acid crystals, no, this accumulation, it cannot be cured easily. So these are the 6 diseases that are there are more, but the 6 diseases which are related to the muscles and the bones of our body. Okay, so any doubts, please ask, and if you have not given your attendance, please give it. And this is the last chapter. Okay, this is the end. So I will not be taking regular classes from now on because the syllabus is already done. And if you have any doubts, okay, regarding any chapter, just go through. There are like 9 chapters. Go through all the chapters, and if there is any doubts, so you can tell me directly, or you can tell the CR, then I'll take class. Okay, I'll arrange a class and I'll clear your doubts, but you have to let me know, because if there is nothing to teach, there is no point of me just doing these online classes, no. So whenever you have doubts, or if you just go through all the syllabus, I'll send the notes again. Okay, to all the chapters I'll send the notes again, and to this chapter also I'll send the notes today. To other chapters I'll send it tomorrow. So just go through everything, and if you come across any doubts, any sort of doubts, please tell your CR, or you can tell me personally. You can message me. So also in the group you can text and let me know, and I will arrange for a class. Okay, otherwise I will not take class. And the CR, make sure you give the attendance for the classes. I'll give the attendance for the coming classes, but there is no point of me taking class if you have no doubts. And if you have doubts, let me know, I'll take class. Okay, and for this chapter, if you have doubts now, you can ask. And please send your roll numbers in the chat box if you have not given yet. Don't give it multiple times, just once. And if you have no doubts, you can leave. If you have no doubts, you can leave. If you have doubts, you can ask. Hello? Yeah, good evening. Who is this?